Ladies and gentlemen, you are still watching Nile Cruise, and the UN General Assembly adopts a resolution declaring the 4th of February as the International Day of Human Fraternity. It comes as the result of Christian-Muslim cooperation to promote peace and harmony among different sects and different races. The initiative was introduced by Egypt, the United Arab Emirates, Bahrain, and Saudi Arabia. To shed more light on the initiative, to shed more light on the 4th of February as the Day of Human Fraternity, we are very much delighted to have with us Dr. Asmaa Elzieny, Official of Foreign Relations and International Cooperation of Education Development Center for Al-Azhar International Students. Thank you very much for being with us, ma'am.
Thank you for giving me the chance to being with you this day. Thank you.
Let's talk in general first about the choice of the 4th of February to be the International Day of Human Fraternity and its significance too.
Actually, this day is the day on which was the signing of the Human Fraternity document between the Grand Imam of Al-Azhar, Professor Ahmed Al-Tayyib, and Pope Francis of the Catholic Church. This document is a common assignment, a common mutual understanding between the two biggest religious leaders in the world. They agreed they choose the dialogue as a way of conduct between the Muslims and Christians. The signing of the document was in Abu Dhabi on 4th of February 2019, and United Nations later on chose the same day to make it the International Day of Human Fraternity, to declare that the United Nations is approving the values which are included in this historical document.
What's included? Let's speak in detail about what's included in this document.
Let's speak first about why they signed this document, then speak later about what is included.
Okay.
What's included in the signing of the document was like an acknowledgement of the biggest two leaders in the world. This is enough. Enough is enough. That the world suffered enough of wars, conflicts, and disputes. It's time to sit together and understand each other and respect each other. This is the main concern of the two religious leaders of signing this document. If we are going to speak about the values included in the document, let's speak about peace, tolerance, coexistence, love, passion.
Accepting the other.
Accepting the other, of course. Reviving the values of the lost manners of the true values of religion.
You know, I'm just here to represent the other side of the coin. Many people would say, okay, they met together and they met more than once and they call each other my friend or my brother. But to sign a document, this is to send another message, a stronger message, if I may say so. How do you see there should be reaction from the international community, from people who do not know till the moment that there were those meetings, not only one meeting between the two big powers in the world of various religions, if I may call it this way?
Really believes that what made the United Nations acknowledge the signing of the document is the sincerity of that both leaders had while speaking about these values. They, as you said, they only didn't sign the paper and met together and had meetings and phone calls and things like this. They were determined to have something permanent for the coming generations, to acknowledge that religion urges us to live together. It's never, we are not, if we are created as different people, so we can live as different people in this world. There is a space, the document clearly says that there is a space for everyone to live. Whatever his religion, his ethnicity, his color, his country, whatever. This is the core values that will remain after signing the paper after years when we speak about.
So it's not ink on paper, it's something which should be implemented on the ground with all its values, with all what's included under this document.
You could say that the document is something living. What makes it sure that we say this, that the Grand Imam and Pope Francis, after signing the document, they decided to have the Higher Committee of Human Fraternity. The main function of this Higher Committee is to work on achieving these two values of the document.
This was my coming question regarding how we can monitor or follow up the implementation of the core of this document on the ground, because as of course you know, now the world is suffering from wars, disputes, struggles, and all over the world. It's not located in certain area or in certain even continent. It's all over the world, unfortunately.
The suffering that the world faced because of conflicts and wars is to be mentioned, is the worst thing that we in our long life, everyone that suffered, even if it is not in our country, it is in the world, in the humanity. This is what makes the document so special. It speaks about the right of everyone to live. Every child in this world has a right to live peacefully. Every young man, every woman, everyone, the poor, the needy, whatever, they have the right to live and live peacefully. It is enough to have wars. Peace should prevail the world. This is the remaining message of the
main message of the
yes.
document. Also, of the main messages is freedom.
Yeah.
And there is a great difference between freedom and chaos.
Yeah.
Because I may differ with you, but I would never allow myself to insult you. There is such a big difference between both. How do you see this, and how this is included into the document?
As I told you at the beginning of our speech, that the main conduct the two religious leaders wanted to have is the dialogue, the concept of dialogue. Regardless of our religions, we can still live together. There is a space in the world for all religions to live, as long as we deal as humans.
So its timing, I think it was crucial, and
Yeah.
it's really very suitable for what's going on now, and it can be one of the messages sent to everyone on earth that we can and we should live together. True?
Yes, true. This is the main concern of the higher committee of the human fraternity. They are visiting every part of the world. Every event is held with the same message. We all are equal. We are free. We are equal. No chaos, but we are equal. We are free to have the rights. You have the right to be healthy, to be happy, to live in
The
good
committee
conditions.
is going to be affiliated to the UN or to the Vatican and Al-Azhar?
It is
or what?
affiliated to the Council of Elder Muslims. Al-Azhar, under the censorship of Al-Azhar and Pope
We
Francis.
are going to return back to the document, but tell me about how do you see the fruitful cooperation between Al-Azhar and the Vatican?
I believe that the image, having the image of the Grand Imam, every now and then meeting with, as he always says, his friend Pope Francis.
Yeah.
This is something unprecedented. We didn't see much of course, here in Egypt, because we are very special community with special values. We have this, but in the world, to have this coexistence and this friendship between two big religious leaders like the Grand Imam and Pope Francis, I believe this is one of the achievements of both leaders.
And of course, this is going to be reflected on the ground. But the agenda of the committee, I mean, are they going, for example, to pay all the time visits to certain places? They are going to be received by international entities all over the world to practice their job. What?
Now the results of this document is being seen. They are invited to the biggest events on the freedom of the religious freedom everywhere. The Grand Imam participated in El Bahrain Forum on coexistence for religious leaders, and also in Morocco, in Spain, in America, different parts of the world. These are the best results that came out of signing this document.
In fact, the Grand Imam of Al-Azhar, Imam Al-Akbar, Sheikh Ahmed Al-Tayyib, was keen to visit many places in an unprecedented manner. For example, I do remember well his visit to the Bundestag in Germany, for example, and how he was received, and his speech, and his way to deal with the German members of parliament there. These visits, I think, are sending messages, not only one message to the whole world, and especially to the West, to what extent we are keen to open new horizons of cooperation and of coexistence and peace. If you want to elaborate on that.
Yes, I believe that the message that the Imam carries inside his heart, also his travels around the world, that this is the core of Islam. This is the true conduct that each Muslim should be doing to the world. We are not no one is over someone else. We are equal. We have a message of love, of coexistence, of passion. We should be fair to every and each one, young or old, whatever your nationality is. This is the core message of Islam. We are all equals.
I don't know if this is going to take us a little bit far from our main topic, but since you are all the time dealing with the international students in Al-Azhar, I think you know much about their needs,
Yes.
their dreams, how they were received here, what the image they had before coming to Egypt, and what the real image they have on the ground. Tell me more about that, because I'm very curious to know how they are studying and in the same time living, enjoying their time, returning back with memories, returning back even as ambassador for Al-Azhar to their peoples. Tell me more.
Actually, the international students here at Al-Azhar are amazing. Me, myself, I'm impressed with all what they do. As you said, they are traveling alone, leaving their families, their home countries, and coming here to Egypt with a great passion. They love Al-Azhar immensely. They love Egypt. I cannot tell you what they are saying about Egyptians, about Egypt. They dreamed for years, everyone dreamed for years to come here in Egypt. When his dream become a true, he does whatever he can to be successful, to see what much more as he can of Egypt, of living with the Egyptians, was learning the true values of Islam and Arabic language. When he goes back, he becomes, as the Imam, the Grand Imam always describes him, a true ambassador. He's not a student, he's not a teacher, he's not an imam in his mosque or whatever. He is an ambassador. What most important he gained is what he gained while dealing with the Muslims and Egyptians here.
You know, I'm asking these questions because this is part and parcel of the word fraternity, brotherhood, and how they can feel at home, feeling warmly received by the Egyptians, feeling that they are not strangers and they can be integrated into our society that easy, and they can cope with the surroundings that easy too.
The most remarkable thing that even each student of the international student can just tell you is the hospitality that he feels whenever dealing with anyone at home, in the streets, in the market, in hospitals, in his school, university, whatever. He cannot believe that a community can live like this. When they go back, they miss that feeling of being among people.
Warmth.
Yes, warmth.
We are warm enough to have anyone who is coming as a visitor or a guest to feel at home.
Some of them told me that they visit a number of Muslim countries, like Malaysia, Saudi Arabia, Jordan, whatever, but they never felt that feeling of warmth.
With all my respect, we are different. Our warmth is different. Our hospitality, our generosity is different. Mother of all lands, it's Egypt, Dunya. Let's return back, Dr. Asmaa, if you permit me, to the document, and particularly to the way we do deal with Islamophobia. And how this document can be one of the proofs or one of the weapons we can use to fight Islamophobia. Now we can easily say that all what was shown in some of the Western media outlets is totally untrue, and the core of Islam is peace, love, fraternity.
Yeah, let's be honest and say that we as Muslims neglected this part about the Western media. Islamophobia came as a result of neglecting the importance of this part. It is hoped that the document, the signing of the document, the regular meetings between the two religious leaders and the higher committee of human fraternity, is hoped to improve the situation, that the Western citizen can feel it. He can see that true Muslim is living peacefully with a Christian. There is no difference. We can live together. We can work. We can cooperate. If we are of different religions, we still are humans. This is what's hoped to be achieved on the ground, in the real communities. To get rid of that feeling that I hear this a lot of some tourists when they are here. They said that whenever it is like a dogma in their mind that whenever see a veiled woman, she's dangerous. It can harm us. When actually after 1 or 2 or 3 days they lived it, no, they are safe. It is hoped that the same situation be there in the West, not only when they visit Muslim countries. It's hoped that the signing of the document and the activities achieved by the Higher Committee of Human Fraternity helps to achieve this.
How do you see, or how should be events made by the committee on the ground? I mean, for example, should they do forums, conferences, gatherings, stuff like that to make sure that their message is going to reach everyone all over the world, or should it be via social media, for example, outlets, via our media?
Yeah.
I mean, it's our role also, or all these things together. What's more important, or what's your choice?
I believe both are important. To have events like conferences, these are important for a special category of interested people, for academic people, for academia, for scholars, on that level. The social media is also important on another level, for another kind of targeted audience. So both are important. We should be working on the academic and official level for leaders, religious leaders, presidents. By the way, the document itself called upon the religious leaders and also usual leaders to play their role in achieving these values.
You know, I'm asking these questions because, for example, I think that volunteers or NGOs can play such a positive role, and it can be part and parcel of their job, of their mission into any society. You know, one of the most important measurements, or if I want to say, if this community is that civilized or well cultured or no, how many different people are living peacefully together.
Honestly, and actually, we should change our mind. If we want to change the world, we should start with changing our mind. The young generation is the most important to prepare them for a future of mutual living and coexistence. This is the most important category or the targeted audience that the human fraternity should be achieved among them. Other students, other university students, in public places, clubs, things like this. If we manage to reach this category, the future is safe.
This is exactly what I wanted to say. I mean, this document or the implementation of its values, it's not only going to be inside the mosques or churches, but in clubs, in schools, in universities, in all gatherings. True?
True. If we succeeded.
I mean, we had this in mind, or those who wrote the document had this in mind.
Yes, everything is written in books. The most important is to achieve this in reality, in public places with actual people. I see that the document till now is successful in achieving this. This is seen in the events and things they are organizing, and I hope in the future more and more events be held for the base.
Well, Dr. Asmaa Elzieny, Official of Foreign Relations and International Cooperation at Education Development Center for Al-Azhar International Students, thank you very much. I enjoyed our time, and we are going to leave you, ma'am, with a promise to see you again in more episodes of our programs and on Nile TV International Screen.
Thank you so much. Hope to see you soon, inshallah. Thank you.